no man now. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 361 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mal Davis in the building. Today we are normally, we have set topics, but we're trying to go over the timeline and in the, we got to keep you updated with the weekly topics. So this is the weekly update, episode 361. We had this thing called the OTAs that happened. Again, like my guy Iverson, we're talking about practice. We are talking about practice. Again, it's OTAs, and there's some of these stories that will float out there. Like, it's practice. Like, it's just practice. But before we get into OTAs, we're going to tap into the rankings of that fellow guy, Chris Sims. He's the QB expert.
Mispronounce his name. It's fine.
Yeah, Chris Sims.
Yeah.
Don't get it right.
You don't deserve respect.
But I mean, how you guys been doing, man? How's the week been going for you? You guys feeling well? About the Eagles,
been going well. I mean, it's that weird purgatory time right now we're in, man. Without the NFL season, I mean, I am just kind of staring down the barrel of boredom, if I'm being honest with you, because I'm looking at this NBA Finals. I'm like, man, we got maximum 5 games left, and then it's just baseball all the way until September when the NFL season starts. So, I mean, obviously we'll have the preseason stuff like that, but it just gets real slow for me during the summer sports wise. Obviously the weather's great, but man,
OTAs don't do it for you.
OTAs get me jazzed up. It's just to a
tease.
There's a
it's like
ceiling
going to the
on
strip
it. You know what I
club,
mean?
bro,
like when you're in the middle of the season, there's we got next week. We could talk about last week. When you're in OTAs, we're talking about practice, man. We're just talking about practice. But I'm still excited. I will say it is much more exciting to talk about OTAs when you have a team that's built the way that we're built. If we were sitting here and we were the Texans and we're talking about, CJ Stroud should be starting week 1, which he obviously should be. But the point is that when things are bad, it's tougher to talk about. So we're in a good spot.
Yeah. All of that, man. I had the opportunity to kick it with Hollywood over the weekend, man, and get a chance to see his editing expertise. For all you content creators in the Philadelphia area, I need to be tapping in with Hollywood because he worked magic on these Johns, man. So when the mini documentary dropped, y'all gonna see the magic and just know Malcolm just sat and pointed, right? Like he just said, "Hey, move this over here," and then Evan made the magic happen. So just
it was your vision, though, bro. It was your vision.
Yeah. I'm a visionary, but I'm not the magician. You that guy. So had a good time kicking it with the homie, man. I'm always excited to be on here with y'all boys. Talked to Tank earlier. Shouts out to Tank. Had some tacos before I jumped on the show. Shouts out to Prom. So man, we just keeping it all in the family like usual, man. Go Birds.
Yeah, I mean, one topic. I mean, I hate to give it any, I'm not say credit or any love, but again, this is Eagles timeline talk and updates. We're gonna start off with Chris Sims, man. Chris Sims,
put him in the bathroom.
That's not the right graphic. But Chris Sims, he has Jalen Hurts as his number 7 QB. Now this is up from 25 from 2022, and the year before that he wasn't even on the list. So we're talking about growth mindset here. This is growth in terms of Chris Sims, but it's also a point of conversation that will ignite any timeline. Now the people that he had in front of him, he had this guy by the name of Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Yes, he had Trevor Lawrence ahead of him. And then the rest of the list is still being compiled, but we still have Mahomes. We still have Josh Allen. We still have who else we have?
Joe
Burrow.
Josh Allen.
Herbert. So how we feeling about in terms of he should be top 5, top 3?
Listen, me and you tapped in already. We talked about this earlier. He's 3 for me, right? That like I wouldn't take him over Pat Mahomes. I probably wouldn't take him over Joe Burrow. There's no other quarterback in the NFL that I'm gonna sit here and today say is better than Jalen Hurts. Nah, it's quiet for that, right? That like he proved that he could do it with his arms. We've been new with our Primo. We already knew he could do it with his legs, right? That like hit the jump he took from the first year of starting to this past season. It just showed you everything you really need to see from him, man. So for me, he's 3. I could hear maybe Josh Allen being above him, but definitely no lower than 5. And no way am I putting Lamar Jackson over him, bro. I don't think that, even with the MVP, Lamar Jackson has to prove that he could really throw the rock around. We haven't seen that from him yet, for real. So, Jalen Hurts, he pushed AJ Brown and he pushed Devontae to record, right? To record output. That's saying a lot, man. So, I'm just excited, dog. I'm excited. Yeah. But number 3 for me.
And for me, I mean, I'm in the same sort of boat where I can't sit here, as much Eagles bias as I have. I can't come on here and tell you he's the best quarterback in the league. I think I have to give the nod to Pat Mahomes in that regard. But I truly, genuinely believe he's number 2. I would personally rank him above Joey B. I think I think that Joe Burrow, you could obviously say, I think has a better arm. I just think that Jalen Hurts brings a more complete package to the quarterback position, and that's kind of why I would put him there. I mean, I think that offensively, when you're scheming, Jalen can beat you in the air. He can beat you on the ground. Read option, like all of those things. I don't think that Joe Burrow is as effective as. And all this talk about Josh Allen, man. Like,
man, hell, boy, ain't no way.
Josh Allen's a great quarterback. He's a top 5 quarterback in this league. He's not better than Jalen Hurts, man. If I'm being real,
mistake prone, yo.
He is, he comes up small in the playoffs.
Catastrophic mistake every time, son.
Year after year again, he comes up small in the playoffs, and that to me is the biggest sign. And you look at how Jalen Hurts, even with an injury, was able to stay composed in the playoffs and keep us in the Super Bowl. It was. I mean, obviously he had that fumble, but to me, I blame it on that defense and Jonathan Gannon, man. If they could have got him a stop, Jalen Hurts would have a ring. So yeah, man, Jalen Hurts is number 2.
I'd be interested to listen to what Prime has him ranked as he has a big life-size Jalen Hurts. No, Jalen Hurts is back there.
I haven't seen, so I just want to acknowledge Prime. Because Prime is the epitome of growth mindset, right? Because he was somebody, all dead ass, right? That like he was the biggest Carson Wentz fan that like I knew for real. And over time, you could see that Prime started to be like, okay, something with this Jalen Hurts kid. Oh, he's doing a little something for real. And now he got a whole lifestyle.
Hey, listen, man. I appreciate it because I mean, being the true fan that I am, that's just the way I've always done things. Like you got to earn yourself, or earn a spot in this cave on the wall, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, I'm not going front. You guys know deep down I was that big Carson. I was all in on Carson, and things didn't work out. All right,
a lot of people were.
Yeah, and I build up. I build on Jalen. I mean, I was one that questioned him and and doubted him on certain things, but hey, listen, he turned it around 360. Now I'm all in, and that's my quarterback. You see it back here. He's in the cave. And just in case if you didn't know, Carson's out, man. Carson's officially out of the cave.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I moved. So I try to be nice and I moved him over to the garage, right? I come in the next day. And my man fell to the ground, and I said, "Yo, I guess you're trying to let me know something, so no problem."
It's over, bro.
So I went ahead, close it up, and peace out, Carson. All right, so that's the end of the Carson era. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. No, but I mean, apologies for showing up to the party a little bit late. Traffic was crazy. Catching up to what you guys were saying. Yeah, listen, I'm with you guys. Well, I got Jalen as number 2, and the reason why, being straight up, being real. Pat, he beat us. He got the ring. He's got that leverage over us right now. But had Jalen and the Eagles won that game, then we would have been talking a different, outcome right there. But I laughed at all the stuff that I was hearing today, and the fact that they ranked my boy at number 7. I thought that was like the joke of the day. Like, I don't know what these cats are smoking, man. Like, for real.
Cat.
I don't even understand how they even got a position on the sports network, like talking this dumb shit. But like, look, man, cut all that out. You know, I'm one to go ahead and tell you that man has proven himself to the fullest that he is that quarterback in this league, and that he is coming for that number 1 spot. I'm telling you that right now. He is coming for that number 1 spot because he's one to go ahead and tell you he's left a lot on that table. He's left a lot that he still has to prove. And last year, and then going into this year, he's going to prove that, man. And real quick, I just want to question Pete. How long you been watching the show now? Where the hell do you see a virtual back here? This is all me, bro. Like, this is all me.
That. I was like, nah, that's the
best. That's if you go in there, you'll realize how limited your space is compared to Prime. I'm like, how do you even? How did your wife even allow you to have a space so immaculate and so free from anything else? Well, Prime did build his wife a salon down there, so don't get it twisted. It looks
good. I had to be fair. You know, I mean, the salon is right here to the left of me, and yes, but this is all from scratch, man. This is from years in my teenage years, maybe even my elementary school years. Like, I've got stuff in here that I've held and, you know, I mean, got possession of, like, and I've never let go. So it's a stage that, you know, I mean, you just got to build from. You know, I mean, a lot of you guys will eventually get there.
What would you say, if there is any, is your most prized possession non-Eagles item in there?
Oh man, non-Eagles item.
Question.
Oh, you know what I mean? Real talk. Good. You know, that's pretty good. My WWE championship belts.
Because he was Intercontinental champ back in '97.
Nice.
97.
Yo, and also, I want people to peep that my man Prime be dropping mad marriage nuggets, bro. Right? What'd he say? He built the salon right overhead. Yo, learn from Prime.
Happy wife, life.
Like, say it
happy
again.
Wife, happy life.
Hey, you got to do things that make you got to do things that you love, and Prime is a prime example of that, because he does things that he loves, man. And if you go down there, you'll see amazing things that he loves. Speaking of things I love, I like to thrift, and I'm always looking for Eagles merch. So shout out to Robert. I bumped into Robert. He's big into the Philly flea market gang. He's also into collecting TurboGrafx stuff. So if you play video games, like if you're a video game head and you have any TurboGrafx stuff, reach out to Robert, because he's the guy.
Okay.
He's the guy.
I was going to say, fun fact, just a little insight for all of the fans out there that were curious about what it's like to travel with 4th and Jawn. I have seen a Plato's Closet in so many different states now because of Gail Saunders. And we go to North Carolina, we go to Plato's Closet.
One minute that man is right here to the right of you. You're having a conversation. You look to the left. You come back to finish the conversation. He's gone. Where's he at?
I was like, yo,
where the hell? He's at a Play-Doh. Like, how did he get across the street that quick?
I will find one. I met a bunch of people, 4th and Jawn fans, at the flea market, just walking around. I did find this one Iverson shirt. It was pretty dope. Had a 6 on it. There's a story behind that. He wore 6 in the All-Star game. Okay. And then I asked for the price. I looked at the price, and the T-shirt was like $400.
Damn.
I said, I will not be buying that. So I moved on. But shout out to Rare Vintage. They do have a crazy amount of merch if you're looking for rare Eagles items. But yeah, that was a good time. Also went to the Chappelle show on Friday. It was amazing. Saw the Roots perform. I might get a little off topic, but it was great. One of my college homies opened up for Chappelle, so that was more exciting than watching Chappelle. But Chappelle, wait till you see it. It's
he's a killer, bro.
It's gonna make some headlines.
Yeah, okay.
It was funny though.
It's not a time that he, over the past 5 years, has dropped anything that didn't have people up in arms, bro. So to be expected at this point.
Yeah.
Now moving right along, a topic that we talked about a couple months ago. It was recently there was a report out there from Sports Illustrated's Greg Bishop that the Eagles and the Russell Wilson trade. We remember we did talk about this a long time ago. Shout out to Tim. He gave us a little nugget. That deal was on the table. And now you have Sports Illustrated's Greg Bishop talking about that report was on the table. If you look back to Ian Rappaport also mentioned, this is from the article, back in April, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said during interview he was pretty convinced Wilson was going to end up with either the Eagles or the Commanders around the time of the 22 NFL Combine. The Knicks Wilson to Philadelphia deal was also previously discussed by quarterback coach and longtime Wilson associate Jack Heaps. And then remember we went on we had that I think it was me and Prime had the tour of the link with Jason Avant.
Yeah.
And the one guy that he mentioned to me that the Eagles would probably like is Russell Wilson. So again, Russell Wilson is the best miss that we've two times now, because it could have been drafted. And now I'm not gonna say the best miss, like, cause if we got him earlier on, it would be no Jalen Hurts. But now it's a different state of mind. It's a growth mindset.
With that trade, Jalen would have went to Seattle.
The compensation was bananas. So, like, if we would have drafted him, I would have been okay with that, because I feel like I was hyped around Russell Wilson becoming an Eagle at that point. That trade for him, clearly in hindsight, would have been the worst trade that we probably have made in the history of this organization, just from a compensation standpoint, and especially because you see Jalen Hurts he jumped over Russ at this point, right? And so when you're talking production, oh man, like that would have been catastrophic. And then I heard Josh Sweat would have been in on it, multiple first round draft picks. Like it just would have been ugly, bro.
It absolutely would have been. I mean, just the fact that all the excitement, all the good things that we've been talking about this past year and a half with what Jalen has accomplished, it could have been a whole different. I feel like we would have been in a real life Stranger Things sitcom. You know what I mean? Like upside down world. Like that's the crazy part. And then like I'm going to be one that I thought it was just a joke, man. Like, people, you know what I mean, are talking that bullshit. Russell going to come to the Eagles. That ain't happening. We put all this work into, sticking with Jalen, building him up and stuff like that. I just don't see them running this circus all over again, not doing another Carson. So it was just like, all right. And then to find out not too long ago, like this shit was really about to happen. I ain't going to lie, man. That's scary. It really is scary to know that we almost went down that road.
Yeah, and when I was looking for the compensation right now, and this is what it would have ended up being. It would have been Jalen Hurts, Josh Sweat, pick 15, pick 19, 2023 first, which ended up being Nolan Smith, and a 2025 second round pick.
God damn,
this would mean that we would have no AJ Brown, no Jordan Davis, no Jalen Carter. And the Eagles wouldn't have traded for the New Orleans 2022 pick.
And we'd have never been in the Super Bowl. We would have never had that run.
Well, not only would we have not been in the Super Bowl, that would have been just an awful, abysmal year. And we'd be sitting here. What would our conversation right now be? We'd be sitting here talking about, because Russell Wilson would be locked into a deal. Russell Wilson would be locked into a deal. And we'd be sitting here like, well, he was looking better in practice today, I guess, man. Like, maybe he turns it around this year. That's what we'd be doing. And then we'd be bringing up pictures of Sierra to make ourselves feel better.
It's the truth, bro. It's the truth.
Well, and Bob down here asked if, like, we believe the trade. Oh, shit.
Or not Mountain. I'm sorry, Gail.
I was saying Russell Wilson, they sent out on him. There would be no AJ Brown.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Yeah.
This is bananas.
And like Bob was asking if we believe the trade. I remember the rumor that because both he and Deshaun Watson weren't willing to waive their trade clause to come to Philly. And like for me, in both of those instances, I was elated, bro. I wanted absolutely nothing to do with the Deshaun Watson show. And then again, you see Watson play this year, right? Didn't look great considering all that they had to give up and the money that they had to pay. Russell Wilson was abysmal, right? That like there was even a question of if Sean Payton wanted him to be the quarterback this year. So, hindsight is always 2020 or 2010, whatever the best vision is now. They be changing shit. But whatever it is now, it clearly was not the move to make. And so just excited about Jalen Hurts, man. Like we have a young, phenomenal quarterback. Again, for me, like I'm really looking to see him continue to take the step forward with his arm. and rely a little less on the legs, but killer, man.
Yo, I'm seeing some of these comments, and it is scary just to even think about.
This one's scary.
Yeah, let's fly.
Oh my God!
Or
Yo, we would have actually went
Eagles
from
country. Let's fly. Like,
isn't that wild to think about too? That like we all, as Carson was on his way out the door, like, man, this guy's corny as hell. We would have replaced him with a cornier dude, bro. How wild is that?
But are you guys saying Russell Wilson is wash gang, or he makes a turn this year?
I think he can turn it around this year, but I think the days of Russell Wilson being an MVP contender are long gone, man.
Absolutely limited.
I think that he'll be able to essentially be a bridge quarterback for the Broncos at this point in his career. I mean, they're going to need to draft somebody next year.
Right, and we're talking about Sean Payton, man. You know, Sean Payton is a great coach, you know what I mean? So he could definitely turn things around for this guy. But, you know, I agree with you, Evan. You know, I mean, the whole MVP caliber is just pretty much off the table. He's got a little bit left in his tank, and I think he's going to go ahead and pretty much use that all up within the next year, 2 years, and then that's it.
And like you got Sierra at the crib, man. Like you got the little homies at the house. Like you got millions and millions of dollars. Bro, don't let me get an NFL contract. Boy, I'll be hurt so fast, laid up, boy, counting all the millions.
The only thing that I could the only thing I could just see happening is when he's done his contract, done with the NFL, he might end up back with the original girl that he was with on draft night.
Now Bob from Down Under says he wants those details to be confirmed by Howie.
How we not going to rat on him?
Howie's not. Yeah, no.
I mean, there are so many deals left on tables every day in this industry. So,
and on top of that, like there's no benefit that Howie can bring by saying that. The only thing it's going to do is cause like a wedge between him and Jalen Hurts. It's going to be like, yo, you didn't believe in me? Like, there's no point.
And I mean, you know, I think to a certain extent, because Jalen was a second-round pick, right, that he went through the pre-draft process and was being counted out for the most part in regard to like the upper echelon of the quarterbacks that went in that draft, that he always has that chip on his shoulder. You know, Prom was talking before about like he's already talking about the mistakes that he's trying to overcome. Bro, we've seen that man smile like 3 times, right? That he went to a Super Bowl, damn near won an MVP, was the highest paid quarterback for like a split second before Lamar got his Jawn. He smiled 4 times, bro. Damn. That boy dedicated. He's locked in, man. He's dedicated. That's the type of shit I like to see. With Smitty, right? When everybody was like, oh, he hates being in Philadelphia. No, Smitty is locked in, bro. He's dedicated to his craft. Kobe Dean, you don't be seeing these running around cheesing and shit. They focus, bro. They focus.
It's funny that you bring that up, man, because my boy who cuts Hassan Reddick's hair, he broke it down on like he's a prime example of somebody that zoned into playing in the league, period. Not just for the season. Like he's so focused on his career, it's ridiculous. And he says that about a lot of the guys. You mentioned Devontae Smith, you mentioned Jalen, you mentioned Kobe Dean. There's a couple other guys out there that you rarely going to get a smile from because they're so focused. And I respect it and I love it, bro. I love it. Especially the fact that, you know what I mean, you're wearing Eagles green, doing that shit. Hell yeah. Go listen.
I saw the linebackers coach. They introduced him today. He said that the first thing that Kobe did was like, that's cool and all, coach. Like he was talking about having that introductory phase to like the Kobe. He's like, that's cool, but can I get the playbook?
Nolan Smith got drafted, crying on the phone, talking to Sean Desai. Send it to me immediately. To a PDF. I need that shit, right? Like that's this team in a nutshell. And like again, you know, you're talking about like the Patriot way, quote unquote, or the Heat culture. Is these sorts of things, right? Is work ethic, is people being dedicated to their craft, is folks that take the opportunity seriously. And you look across the board with even young players, veterans. These are dudes like Brandon Graham laughs and jokes and talks a lot of shit, but he's dedicated as hell to his craft, right? And so you see these folks that it's contagious. When you're around people that love what they do, it's almost impossible. You either gotta leave or you gotta buy in. I feel like we're seeing a lot of buy-in take place.
So let me ask you guys, like, do you think that this Russell Wilson taking a step back, do you think that is, I don't know, like a lack of, and this is for, you know, lack of a better term, but is he not as motivated anymore since he's got the money and the Super Bowl in his belt? Or do you think that this is just a natural regression where he just doesn't have it anymore? Do you think like he lost that motivation?
I think it's more self-awareness. He has to realize that, the team's it's not built around him. Now he has to assimilate, and you have to gain the trust of your teammates at the end of the day. And if some of those wide receivers, not naming the names, Judy, who are out there acting, that's your QB and your wide receiver. That's the most closest relationship you can have out there in terms of like knowing where the other guy is going to be at. And if that is off, that means something about their chemistry.
McNabb and T.O.
It's sometimes it's a reflection of
but it didn't just start there neither. Like they said that it like towards his ending of his career with Seattle, it was starting. You know what I mean? Like he was clashing with people. Like he was a prima donna in that locker room.
Right.
And I mean all he did was take a plane trip to Denver with the same shit.
Richard Sherman and them don't fuck with him at all.
Yeah,
like that whole Legion of Boom, like the linebacking core, like the stalwarts of that team. Even Marshawn Lynch was like, "Yo, I can't just call Russell Wilson. Like that just don't exist." And so
they don't have his phone number.
Yeah, and so when you exist in that order of like you holier than thou, right? That like you can't. That's any culture, right? If you have a person that's a deity within any culture, it's a wrap, bro. Right, you
sounds
can't
like somebody we know.
Like that. And so it's a done deal, man. Whereas Jalen Hurts, he a man of the people, bro. Right, that like when that shit broke in Washington and almost killed that man. Oh, he helping people up off the ground. The cameraman kicking people and shit, and he over here helping people to fuck up, right? And so like, it's just it speaks to your character. I think in the end of the day, you see people that reach this highest height, and then you see how they treat other people, how they interact. It just speaks to who they are as people, right? That like Russell Wilson was just never really one of the dudes. So that shit happens, man.
Talk about
am I breaking up on my end?
A little bit, but you good. I mean, we still hearing everything you're saying. But all I was just gonna say is, like I said, I just mentioned like somebody we know, and that was Carson. You know what I mean? The man wanted to only go hunting, and people didn't want to go with him. You know what I mean? Like that's all he was focused on. He didn't go to no charities. He didn't go ahead and mingle with some of the guys and his teammates. But that's key. What Jalen is doing is totally opposite, and look at the outcome that it's given him. You know what I mean? Like he built a family within like 2 days. Like he let these guys know, like, yo, man, I'm here. Y'all my brothers, and we're gonna go ahead and ride this thing out together. So like that's key right there. Russell Wilson, to answer your question, Evan, like again, in his last years in Seattle and then going into Denver, he's just not there, man. Like he just doesn't have that chemistry with his boys at all. And I don't know.
Chemistry is everything, though.
Very
like at the end of the day, chemistry. If you don't have chemistry with your next man, especially football, it's built on relationships, and if you're not building them, I question what kind of team that you have. But talk about chemistry and building relationships with his teammates. Nolan Smith is that dude, and in the word out from the beats, Nolan Smith is getting swole. Multiple media members remarked that Nolan Smith is bigger than they expected him to be, and that's one of the coming out of the draft. Everyone was like talking about his his size, and is that why he dropped, and being undersized. I think Nolan Smith is showing up to camp ready to go and loaded. Did you guys see his interview with Chris Long?
Yes.
I know. Mal, you were talking about it.
It was awesome.
Yes.
That ghost move. He learned that ghost move. It's a wrap, baby. He learned if he get that one in the repertoire, it's over. Because you got him and Josh Sweat ghost moving your tackles on the edge. Oh, man, listen. Yeah, but we studied the tape on Nolan. We talked at length about Nolan Smith. People talked about him being 6'3", 237. But what they don't talk about is that dog mentality, right? That like when you watched him at Georgia, his first responsibility was to set the edge. He's doing that against 330-pound dudes. No one was getting outside of him, right? That like he did his job admirably. And so I never really worried about his ability to stick in the NFL. Bro is country strong. Like he's country strong. So, he'll get acclimated to the league, man. Get some of them, milkshakes up in him and get him swole up. Get some steak sandwiches up in his gut, man. And, he's going to be a horse, bro. I'm excited for this team, dog. Just real geeked up, man.
I am too. And I think Nolan Smith, like one of the things that really stands out to me, aside from obviously him being a physical freak and all that, It just really comes down to, like, in all the videos I've seen of him since he's gotten drafted, he's so comfortable in front of the camera, and he's so comfortable being in the spotlight. And to me, that translates to the moment's not going to be too big for him. You know what I mean? Like, he's a guy that is able to just lock in, do what he's supposed to do, and he's not fazed by being in the spotlight or anything like that. I think that is huge. And obviously, I'm just talking about TV interviews and stuff like that. Yeah. But I really do think that will translate in a way where he is comfortable and the game is not too fast for him on the field.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. I was also, I don't know if it's one of the headlines here, but when I was talking to Gail earlier, I was talking about Reed Blankenship. Yo, Reed is a unit, bro. That, like, he was at the press conference talking behind the shit, man. He was the head with it. I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch? Cock Diesel, mama. That's the safety.
That's the safety, bro.
But that's just safety. Like, damn, how big is the linebackers?
I've been trying to say, bro, there was a lot of people that just because he came in a backup role last year, like, he can't play as a starter. Yes, the fuck he can, bro. Come on.
Reed Blankenship about to shake some shit up. In my opinion, having watched him at Middle Tennessee, rookie year snaps, right? That, like, he's studying his game. He's at worst an average NFL starter. Average to me. And so,
and he's young.
He's
got room to grow.
And so if you could get him on a reasonable deal as an average NFL starter who has the potential to at least ascend to an above average box safety, come on, man. Right? Like, we still figuring out who's going to play the deep post, but watching his game, especially against Green Bay when he got extended reps, like, you got a chance to really see what he was capable of. And that the coaching staff trusted him. He was in there before Kayvon Wallace, right? Like, he was in there before some more established dudes. So, yeah, nah, he white Hulk, like white chocolate. Nah, he white Debo, like that.
I don't even think we're going to be talking about Kayvon anymore, bro. The way Reed's stepping up, it's done, bro.
And they brought in Justin Evans, and they brought in, you know what I mean? Like, it's
once they start filling out the depth chart ahead of you, the writing's on the wall.
Speaking of the depth chart, Terrell Edmonds, Reed Blankenship were the first team safeties.
Yes, sir.
Cam Jurgens was the first team right guard. Quez Watkins was first up at wide receiver 3. I think in terms of talking about Terrell Edmonds, he's in here on a 1-year deal. Reed Blankenship showed his value last year. He's getting a shot. They did say Sidney Brown got worked in, but then at the end of the day, I think the Cam Jurgens first team right guard. I think if you listen to Lane Johnson speak of Cam Jurgens, he really did give him some high regard. He said that talked about his leverage being at his size. 6'3", and he said his athletic ability is crazy, but from a leverage standpoint and blocking, he said he's got tremendous strength. He said he's kind of fired up. Like there was that other report, I think last week or something, saying that I think it was Brian Baldinger. He said that Lane. I don't think it was like I thought it was taken out of context, but it's like he doesn't really want to play with Cam Jurgens, talking about his undersized, but he gave him some love on his recent interview. So check that interview out.
And Cam also talked about it too. My bad, but like he also spoke about like the move to right guard and the difference between communicating with Lane and communicating with Kels versus being at the pivot. And I liked his explanation. He also talked about when Seumalo came in the league, they were roughly the same size, right? And then like Seumalo figured it out through being a technician. And so that's the type of stuff I look for. That's what we talking about with Nolan. It's like when they got it between here, when they get it, then they can go learn the craft and apply it, right? It's the folks that struggle to understand the nuances of the game that then struggle to make the transition to the big stage. And so I would apply that to Reed Blankenship. He clearly understood the system and understood his role in it. So, yeah, man. Yo, if Cam is the one, yo, bro, you join the Hall of Famers. Don't be the loose link, right? Yeah. Don't be the weak link, man. That's all I'm saying.
I think that, like, of all of these 3 stories that are in here, I think that the Cam Jurgens one is definitely the one that pops out the most because, like, when you think about how Stoutland went and got Steen, went and got his guy, and if Cam Jurgens, like, I saw an interview with him where they were asking, you know, how do you feel about Jason Kelce coming back? Because that kind of potentially could put your, start to your NFL career on ice, and you could tell just in his answer that like he can't say that like, oh, you know, I wish Kelce was gone because I want to start. Yeah. But you could kind of feel the body language. It's just like, dude, like I want to start my NFL career. So this whole him just trying his hardest and adjusting and adapting just to get on the field. I think that's awesome. He's proven that he wants to be starting on this line, regardless whether it's center or right guard. And if he can do it, then more power to him.
They asked him like, well, how do you feel about that transition from center to guard? He's like, well, how about try changing tight end to center? I'm like, he's like, I think that's a little bit more difficult. So,
and I said he couldn't play guard last year when we drafted him. I saw him as a center only, but it seemed in the preseason he was horsing right there. Like he showed a level of like speed to power. We talk about that a lot on defense, but he showed that on offense. But he was getting his hands on people and actually moving them. I didn't think he could do that in the NFL. So I was like, oh. So
let's say hypothetically,
the bro.
Cam Jurgens does start this year at right guard. What happens next year when Kels retires? Does he slide to center?
Yep.
And Steen comes in as guard?
Yeah.
What if Jurgens is excelling at right guard?
No, you move him center.
Moving the center.
Athletic ability is off the. If Lane is telling you, I think that's pretty much Bob. He's saying the athletic ability is there. We've seen it on a couple plays. I mean, Kelsey is ungodly with his athletic ability and ability to get to the second level, but I think he should be there. I think it was interesting to talk hear Lane Johnson talk about his role being a elder statesman. He talked about, he said, my job is now to teach these younger old linemen how to be, men, treat them how to teach them how to like, learn the plays and whatnot. I think he's like, it's crazy to think that I've been in the league 11 years now. How fast time has flown. He said he doesn't really want to, like, they asked him about his contract being where he's at. Like, by the time his contract ends with the Eagles, will be 37. He said he hopes to be done by then. But he did mention Jason Peters being 41 in the Tybo class.
Well, let's hope that Lane doesn't have a bunch of gambling debt going on.
Yeah.
I think Lane will be okay.
Yeah. What other guys stood out for you guys in the OTAs?
I mean,
I know you said before. Go ahead, Hollywood.
I was just going to say the rookies in general, man. I mean, it's another one of those draft. I've heard a lot of talk about Sidney Brown. Cy seems to really like him. Yeah. And but just this whole rookie class, like it's hard to just pinpoint one guy and be like, oh, I'm excited about this guy, but I'm also excited about these linemen that we got too. You know what I mean? It's hard to rank them because I think that a large majority of them are going to do really well.
I'm just excited about the work these boys have been putting in on these OTAs, man. You see them in their grind and they're going hard the whole time, and that's what I love to see. So like that's been the key to me. And I wanted to mention earlier, man, like it's kind of hard to keep it in, but bro, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm more excited about this team this year than what I was last year.
I told Gail the same thing earlier, bro. I'm right there with you, like,
bro. This defense is deep, man, and I mean they are ready. Oh, bro, I'm gonna keep my composure.
I like the fact that in terms of like in the situation with Ringo, he's got these guys that he doesn't really even have to be in the equation. It's more about learning the game. And I think like he's gotta have to fight. I mean, he's gonna have to compete just to be in the, I mean, you got Josh Jobe and you got Greedy Williams. And now where does that leave you, Ringo? I want to see him improve there and compete.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be fine. I mean, that was my pick, but I wasn't expecting him to come in here. I'm not saying he was going to be the starter or anything. It's about coming in here and learning from guys like that. So I think this will be the perfect opportunity to like just go ahead and just fall back a little bit and learn as much as you can. I mean, look what Nakobe did. Nakobe knew he could play, but he respected it. He watched the game. And when it was time for him to come in on certain plays and come into the game, bro, he was a monster. So, I mean, you could, and we're talking about these kids both coming from the same college. So that mentality is already with them. So I think that he's going to be fine.
And I really think that, like, just speaking on what you're saying about him not starting, I think it's valuable to have depth in that position because year after year, these past few seasons, we've had injuries at the cornerback position and we're stuck with a Josiah Scott or something out there And listen, no shots at Josiah. It's just like if you could replace him with a Keely Ringo or slide Avonte Maddox around, whatever you got to do, it's a better situation than Josiah.
I ain't trying to give up no more 30-yard plays, bro.
Yeah.
I get you.
The defensive back coach DK McDonald said he mentioned that he gets to sit beside Bradbury and Slay, ask them questions, pick their brain on some of the successes they had, and those two have a lot of successes in this league. So, at the end of the day, he gets to just sit and learn. And my thing is, the more he learns, the faster he'll play. Mm-hmm. Like players that are thinking too much. I mean, especially a rookie, because at the end of the day, you're really hoping to get that information. Talk about Blankenship and his relationship with Epps. He said Epps was fighting for that starting job, got an opportunity. He talked about how much Epps meant to his career and success, because not all players are gonna sit here and hey man, let me help you out with the playbook. Let me help you help you take my position. But some other players are, it's for the betterment of the team, and they are ready to share the wealth of information.
Got the Eagles 2040 quarterback in the chat right now.
Wide receiver, man. Jump ball specialist.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. He's never playing football, bro. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people that's like, "Oh, what you mean?" Nah. He done, man. The best thing, your best weapon is right here, brother. It's your brain. Why would you put yourself in a position where you busting your brain up? Shouts out to all the people playing ball, bro. I love football.
Hey, MJ,
what about football?
Nah.
Hey, MJ, I just want to let you know you're never going to get drafted. You heard it here first. I'm breaking the news.
He going to the NBA full guaranteed contracts. You heard?
You know what I mean? His mother
have him in the playhouse.
Lottery pick.
Now I gotta send his jersey. Now I gotta send his jersey back to NFL shop.
Now he need the jersey. We repping, but man. We'll see. If he say he want to play ball, it's not my job to tell him no. But I'm not pushing him into it, man. I'm gonna have him out there on the baseball diamond, on the basketball court, where them full guaranteed contracts are, baby, and let them take off. You feel me?
Yeah, shout out to Chris Peasy in the chat. He said, "Bird Gang, wealthy mind keeping track of our subs on 4th and Jawn YouTube."
Bro.
We got to start that. We got to start that daily movement on YouTube. One of these days, we'll get there. At the end of the day, man, we're trying to keep up with this news here. Some other topics here. Let's see.
Golf.
Second year in Philadelphia.
Money's
Eagles.
in golf, bro.
Yes.
So Christian Ellis has made his splash at OTAs. He picked off Marcus Mariota. Some people believe that he has an opportunity to get some valuable reps this season. I know this is a linebacker. I know this could be Prime's new Nate Gary, maybe.
I'm saying though, man, that's that right here. This headline right here is the perfect scenario of what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like somebody who studied the game for a whole year, and then look, he's coming in for a chance to show that he's been doing his homework, he's been studying, he's been paying attention, and now he's showing it on the field. So I mean, like, look, mad props to him. I mean, we're talking about OTAs, I get it, but still, you're getting that attention. That's what you wanted, and now you're getting it.
Picked off Mariota. New linebacker dog. New linebacker dog. Now Helene is talking about punt returners. Obviously, that's a topic on everybody's mind. Britton Covey, he's leading the depth chart out there. Still, remember last year we were saying that he was going to make the team, and people were like, he's not going to make the team. I'm like, there was a reason why he made the team. Like, there's in terms of being a consistent at the catch point. And again, if you've never played punt returner, having that kind of consistency is because not all punt returners mentally are sound when it comes to they might be able to take one in the house here and there, but can they catch the ball every single time? They're all. This guy's a psycho when it comes to catching the ball.
By any chance, does Keely have any experience in the return game? Dude's fast as fuck.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Does he?
I'm asking. I don't think I haven't seen any.
We have Zacchaeus is third, I believe third on the depth chart. Quez Watkins is out there. I think AJ Brown actually took some snaps. We know Devontae Smith is your break it out of the bag. If emergency, you want maybe a splash play back there, he can return punts.
And we got somebody out there that wants to retire as an Eagle.
Now we have Evan's most important topic. How's the rookie punter? So far so good. His hang time has not been as up to par as Sipos, Evan's cousin Sipos. So in terms of that, he's got to get his hang time up there. He did shank one. So in terms of right now, I think Sipos is here.
He's got the lead on him.
He's here. So
yeah, I really think, and I am going to get bashed for this, but I genuinely believe that I don't think Sipos's year was as bad as people make it out to be. I think people are looking for something to complain about in the previous year. And I'm not saying that he didn't have some subpar punts, man, but I'm just saying that you look across the league, like every punter on every team is going to not be perfect. You know what I mean? So as long as
bro, listen, if that was the only reason for them to go ahead and talk shit about our squad, he had a great year. I'm good. Yeah, he had a great year.
And that's what, like, I'm not saying that he had, like, a great year or a fucking Pro Bowl year or anything like that. I'm just saying he was a serviceable punter.
He was very much so.
Now, a lot of people talked about the punt god, Matt Reza. He's dealt with some off-field things. That situation, I guess, was turned around, but it's still, I don't think a Super Bowl caliber team needs to deal with any.
You're bringing a circus for no reason.
And
it's a suspect. Like, he got exonerated or whatever, but like he admitted being there. Like, it was just a lot going on with all of that, man. So and yeah, up to your point, Sipos, like, it's recency bias too. The most recent thing that happened is oftentimes the thing that people remember. So recently, he didn't have such a great outing. But he's still an NFL veteran, and there's a lot, especially them special teams dudes. Like, they in a fight for their life every day. So, listen, always add competition, but the rookie coming in and beating them out was always a long shot anyway.
Yeah, and honestly, like, just thinking back, like, a couple years ago when Sipos had first started, like, one of the things that he was lauded for is him being able to tuck it in the corner and give the other team a long field to work with. I think that the specialist is a very weird breed of people in the NFL because they have it, and then all of a sudden they just don't have it anymore. And if they're not able to get it back, sometimes they never do.
Talk about getting it back. Quez Watkins is having a good camp so far. Hurts first pass of the day during OTAs. Practice one was an impressive completion in a tight window over the middle to Quez Watkins. I love the place where Quez Watkins is in terms of pressure, in terms of sometimes you get the best out of people when you put them under pressure. Or sometimes what is that rhyme? Pressure bust pipes.
That's what we say.
So I feel like in terms of getting pressure on him and getting the best out of him, hey man, this is what if you want to make everybody eat their words, I love it, man. I love it.
He has the opportunity to do that, but it's also, he's not going to be leaned on heavily in this offense. He's going to have to make the most out of every opportunity that he gets. And him coming in the punt game, that would actually, I would be all about that. If he starts to, just make his name known, replace Covey and return punts.
Helena's already pressuring Quest. See, that's what we're talking about. Mark, he said any info on Devin Allen? Devin Allen is out for track reasons. Is he fully 100% committed? News at 8.
He won some race, didn't he?
He came in like 4th, something like that. But he's about to compete, I think, next week with the 7 best hurdlers in the world. Like, he's committed to his freaking craft, which is being a track star, dude. He's trying his hand at football, but in the end of the day, also, we got to remember these are human beings. Like, people want to have rap albums. People want to, do all type be entrepreneurs. Like Kayvon Thibodeau got hated on because he had aspirations to do more than just football. So, you know, I think it's been proven that you can love football and love life. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. So yeah, let him go chase his dreams, bro. Run real fast and then come back here and catch a pass and, you know, get your paper,
let me play devil's advocate with that for you though. Jalen Hurts, he's just locked in on football. What if he had some hobby that was taking him away from football and it just made him seem less committed to the game? Would you have an issue with that?
I also feel like quarterback. I like that, but I feel like quarterback expectation is a little bit different because you got to understand the game at such a complete nuanced level that if you're getting distracted and doing other things, it will take your ability to perform well. Not saying wide receivers don't have to understand the game the same, but if you're a game-breaking wide receiver, you don't have to understand every single coverage post snap that a quarterback had, right? The level of cognitive ability is just different. So I feel like, your defensive lineman could learn their damn technique and go spit bars in the afternoon. Like, let them do their thing, right? Your quarterback, I want him in here 6 o'clock, you know what I mean? First one in, last one out. It just is what it is.
I mean, the quarterback is essentially just the player coach of the team. So they have
to make
the
most bread. So
you have to know what everyone's
better be dedicated, bro.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather you not be playing Call of Duty and learning all the pass protection. You know, that like.
Good luck, Jonathan Gannon.
Now I've seen this a lot from shout out to 843 Philly fan. He said, you know, he meant Devin Allen and Boston Scott should split kickoff and punt return duties. When I went to camp last year, one of the open practices, I was heavily looking at Devin Allen, and he wasn't getting no burn in camp. The only time I saw him make a play was he ran 100 yards down the field on a sprint after practice. But again, we saw some flashes in the preseason game against Cleveland. Yeah, he had a nice catch there. Yeah. You know, but he has to show this consistently. And again, he's running track right now. Yeah. But I feel like even in terms of marketing, like you could spend that money on marketing for Devin Allen. You're getting marketing on every track thing out there talking about Devin Allen, the Eagles player.
I mean, from an endorsement standpoint, it's a great move for Devin Allen because that, like, let's just be real. Football is a much bigger sport in America than track and field. And so everybody, if you're an avid NFL fan, you could pretty much go through, like I'm sure with any one of us on this podcast right now, we could go through and give you most of the rosters on most of the NFL teams. Whereas like you can't really say the same about like track and field unless you're super, super into it. And so I think as far as a popularity thing, like exactly what Gail was saying, like if you have that tie to the NFL, that opens the door for him and endorsements and stuff like that. He's not just some track guy. He's a known name because he also has his hand in the NFL.
Chase had the quote here, pressure busts pipes or creates diamonds. But if you're talking about diamonds turning into I'm not going to say he's a bust, but he could turn into a better form of the diamond. Another Oregonian player, Marcus Mariota, standing out with the backups and out on the slant game. He hit numerous amount of backups, that being another player, Joseph Nagata, UDFA Joseph Nagata. He had a few nice catches, received, but the overall thing about Nagata, he received the largest guarantee from this year's Eagles UDFA class. So he's making some catches out there, hooking up with Mariota out there on the slants. So I think Joseph Nagata also fills that big body type.
And I was just going to say, to circle it back to Quez Watkins, do you guys he's making the team? Like you guys don't think that there's any avenue in which he doesn't make the team,
unless he's traded.
Unless he's traded.
Yeah, or unless they trade for somebody, right? That like it doesn't make sense, or D-Hop or something happens. But outside of some unforeseen sort of situation, I don't see how you don't make the final roster.
Exactly.
Another guy who's fighting for, I think he's in the world of tight end 2, tight end 3, tight end Dan Arnold made a tough leaping catch in traffic that drew the praise and high fives from his fellow tight ends watching from the sidelines. So there's news that Calcaterra has bulked up a little bit. Dan Arnold is making it uneasy for everybody else out here, the Stoles and the Calcaterras of the world. Dan Arnold, what's your confidence in Dan Arnold becoming tight end too?
I mean, considering he's a vet, it definitely helps his case. And I don't know. I'm looking right now. The dude is 6'6", 240. I mean, as far as a pass blocking tight end, that works out just well. I don't know enough about him in a receiving aspect to say that he, definitely is going to be the tight end too. But him being a vet, him having experience in the league, definitely gives him a head up, I would say, over Stoll and Calcaterra.
Bob from down under. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but he can move. Like, just watching some of his tape when he picked them up, I like the addition. I still have a lot of faith in both Calcaterra and Stolo. Like, for me, they definitely know their position and are able to play it well. All right, yeah, I gotta go, bro. MJ had an accident. I look down, I'm like, what the hell is that?
MJ,
welcome to the daddy world. Bye.
MJ fumbled the bag, literally.
Hey, all right, guys. See you guys.
Well, I'll let y'all boys, man.
He's definitely not getting drafted because he's got red flags. Man.
No, I'm just gonna say, I mean, he's definitely got some serious competition ahead of him, and to just go ahead and rank him as a number 2 right now, it's kind of like a difficult question to answer. You got studs like what Mal said. You got Stoll, you got I can't pronounce the name the way y'all pronounce it. Calcaterra, yeah. I mean, those guys right now, they're hungry to go ahead and get that position as well. So that's the good thing. It's a great problem, like another great problem to have. These guys are going to go ahead and really compete to go ahead and get that number 2 spot. So I love it. And then, we're also known for mixing things up with these tight ends. We know Goddard is the guy, but those other tight ends that we have are going to, be mixed around.
Tyree Jackson is forgotten.
And you still got Tyree Jackson out there. Exactly. So it's just like, I get it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, now we got 3 younger guys that Tyree Jackson might not.
No, I'm not rolling my eyes at you. I'm rolling my eyes at just the name Tyree Jackson, because we've been told these past 3 seasons that we got this guy in the wing. He's the next dude, and then he gets injured every year. And like, it's not a shot at Tyree Jackson. It's just that you're kind of proving to me at this point, it's just you don't got the body for it, man. Yeah. You got the stature, just not your body can't handle it.
Vic said, I spoke too soon. Man down. I guess that had relation to
MJ.
MJ. Shout out to other people that are listening to on the road, not watching. But Mal's son MJ just fumbled the bag on live.
Right into Mal's lap.
Right into Mal's lap. It's kind of shitty, no pun intended. But let's see. We have what other news did we have out here? There's news that in Jordan Davis's interview, he alerted Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter to expect a call from the 215 area code 2 days before Howie Roseman handed him the card. His exact words were, you finna be Eagle. So we have to allow Jordan Davis to get his flowers, because without him, these guys wouldn't be Eagles. He spoke it into existence.
Yeah,
this is the definition right here.
Absolutely. And I really feel like as far as like Jordan Davis was a guy that we were really excited for last year. And I know that I've seen a lot of talk just about people talking about stat wise. He didn't show up. If you were to just see what kind of impact he adds to this defense, I mean, he is the entire reason that we ended up getting Sue and Linval Joseph. I mean, we obviously took a huge hit to our run defense last year when he went down.
When he went down, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think that proved his worth all right there, just that we need to replace him with 2 big body veterans. And they were able to handle business for the rest of the year. And Jordan Davis kind of got, I wouldn't say pushed to the side, but he got less snaps because of those 2 being on the roster.
Yeah,
I think Jordan Davis, like next to Jalen Carter, having the whole gang back together, man, dude, they're gonna go crazy, man.
That's I can't even imagine what they're going through. I mean, you're talking about guys who spent like 4 or 5 years together, and then all of a sudden going right into a career NFL, like, still sticking together and running it back with each other is like, wow.
And not just 4 or 5 years, but those are 4 or 5 years of like pre-NFL money. You know what I mean? When you're like, like for us, for instance, when we're just hanging, just normal guys like hanging out instead of it being some sort of, lavish, this is our new lifestyle kind of life. Like these guys got to know each other, truly who they were as humans. And I think that is having them all together, man. Like
That's
sky's the
definitely
limit.
bullshit. Yes, sir.
Now, Jock talk about trading Barnett for Buda Baker and sign Yannick. In a perfect world, that would be nice, but I'm not sure that I don't know. I'm still wondering what it's going to take for Buda Baker. Maybe he offends the Arizona GMs or something. Somehow they cut him for no reason. Yannick's out there. That's a thing that a lot of people have been talking for a while. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just speaking of people that are going to be cut soon, Dalvin Cook's going to be going too soon, isn't he? They said he's going to be traded or cut within like this week, I thought.
Yeah.
And I know Mal mentioned something about him. There's some kind of Vegas bets on things. He's second?
Yeah, they were saying we had the second best odds behind Miami. I meant the damn screenshot the thing I was reading, but I could see it. I mean, similar to D-Hop, right? That like if you could add them in a situation that makes sense financially, like that's a hell of a talent to have a part of your organization. So, but for all intents and purposes, it sounds like he's trying to go back home.
You know what I was going to say? What feels more realistic, and I don't know. I think just kind of a better fit considering. I mean, we kind of have a full stable right now. If we were to bring him in, I get it's nice to have that depth, but we do got a lot of guys at running back.
Where's back home for Hopkins?
I was going to say I fear Cook going to Dallas. Honestly,
So what?
That would be annoying. That would be annoying. Because I just like the player. I don't like it has nothing to do with it. It does have something to do with Cowboys, but I just
Cook and Pollard. That would be pretty solid, bro.
I would hate to see him over there. Just it'd be annoying because I'm like I've always rooted for his career behind the scenes. It is what it is.
I'm not sure if we had it in the banners yet, but I think there's a pretty big announcement that's happening tomorrow in the video game world.
Yes, sir.
They're going to be the new Madden. Correct. I think they're dropping the trailer tomorrow. I'm not sure if that also means they're going to drop the cover athlete with it as well. I would imagine.
I don't want him to be on the cover.
I'm so good,
I don't either, but at the same time, does the Madden curse still exist? Does it?
I don't think it does.
I don't think it does either.
I don't think it does.
But it's still the chance, right? Like even if something's been jinxed forever, and then for 3 years it wasn't jinxed, then you like
don't bring the Madden curse back.
I'm just saying,
bro.
like
you stay
away from jinx stuff, my guy. Like, you don't engage with
my
that.
guy, you're killing me right now. Like you're bringing it into existence.
It's already what's unsaid has been said.
The one thing I could just say is the best thing about this whole conversation right now is that you're the one talking about it, and not that guy. Because when that guy talks about it, oh, it's fucking over.
It's coming to fruition.
I don't want it. I didn't even want it to be like we had McNabb on it. Who else do we have on Eagle related?
T.O. was on 2K.
Yeah, and then Deshaun Jackson was actually on the cover of NCAA football.
Somebody had put a 2K Jalen Hurts cover, which, like I said, I don't mind because when T.O. was on 2K,
2K5 was
there ain't no jinx with the 2K
of all time. Still to this day, one of the best games ever. Dreamcast.
Were you around for Dreamcast, Evan?
I wasn't around for Dreamcast, but I had 2K5 on PS2.
What?
Dreamcast.
That was the game, son.
And I also think it's funny too how we sit here and Gail says, "Oh, I don't want him on the cover," but we know damn well that if he was on that cover, he's going to be right behind you on that wall. He's going to be on display.
Actually get the physical copy. If it's him, I'm getting it. Yeah, bro, I'm getting $100 big box Jawn, like with all like the poster, all that shit.
Y'all just reminded me. Hold on, go ahead, keep on. I got something for you.
The only reason I would want him on like if he happened to be on the cover, I would like it as a flex. Like he could tell his kids, he could tell his homies, like, yo, I was on the cover of Madden. Remember they had Peyton Hillis on the cover of Madden when everybody voted for him?
And then he
was getting it right too.
Prime, would you have breaking news or something?
Nah, well, I mean, this is another step to replacing certain things up in here. So I went to the Eagles Pro Shop in Lancaster this past weekend, and I mean, I was scared to walk up in there, man, because every time I'm in that pro shop, my wallet gets
$1,000.
Yeah, my wallet gets lesser and lesser with cash. I had the wifey in there, so she pulls out this nice hoodie. So happy wife, happy life. I had to get the hoodie for her. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? If I can spend money on you, I can spend money on me.
This guy.
But yeah, bro, I found it. There it is. Got the Jalen Hurts.
Wow, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
man.
fire.
Got the Jalen Hurts McFadden.
That's fire.
So
did you get one for me?
And this one will be replacing. This one will be replacing the Carson one that I have.
Expeditiously, Prime.
That's still. I'm gonna need that in my collection.
This one right here.
Yeah.
Say no more.
I do have the custom, my guy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Kelly Green, and now I need yours, Prime.
You got it.
I had to go on eBay to get mine though.
Oh, they got you. I know they taxed you on eBay.
That's pretty tight. I like the box and everything.
That's clean. That's clean.
That's very cool.
I have a whole bunch of. I have every single quarterback of those, and then I have a couple Wentzes that are in the garbage.
Yeah, I got.
Yo, me and Malcolm were talking though over when he came over for when we were video editing, and we got in a discussion about like Madden. Dude, football's my number one sport. I know it's probably all your guys' number one sport too. Madden is easily like the worst sports video game out there.
It's terrible.
It's a shame how downhill it's going, dude.
Yeah, because the way that they monopolized the whole, they're like NFL 2K back in the day gave it a run, and now it's now we're out here trying to like.
They probably paid him off and said, "Stop fucking making those good games." Bro.
Yeah,
we're trying to make trash everything.
That's exactly.
But see, it worked out though because they phased out of the NBA, so NBA 2K is now the only one in the game, right? And so like they kind of just switched markets.
Yeah.
I can't wait for NCAA. That's the one I'm waiting on too. NCAA 24.
When's that?
That's
drop?
gonna be jumping. It jumps next summer, a year from now.
Okay.
They already talked about like they overhauled the whole operating system and like they got it on what's the Frostbite is the new Jawn. I don't be knowing, but they got it on the best one, so it's gonna look crispy. I'm gonna get Rutgers. We're gonna win a couple Big Ten championships, and then I'm gonna find the worst team on the Jawn, and I'm gonna just get it in. You know,
Temple's gonna give you a run for your money, bro.
Never, not one time. Crush them.
Talk about giving you a run for your money. Shout out to Philly Sports Trips. If you're looking to book a trip to head to phillysportstrips.com. Make sure to follow them at Sports Chips PHL for more information. They got some really crazy trips. Still trying to figure out where we're going. We know we're going somewhere. We got to talk about that. Shout out to Vince. It's going to be his birthday this week.
Down to Phillies game.
Getting celebrated. Also, there is the Devontae Smith softball game. Shout out to John. Greetings, salutation. But there's a second annual Devontae Smith softball game that is going to be held at where the Iron Pigs play. We all went there last year and saw that home run shot by Jalen Hurts that sparked the season. Maybe. Speaking out of turn. I think who missed that? Mal missed the home run.
Mal left.
I'm telling you,
beat that traffic.
Yeah, he did.
He jacked that thing up in the second story, and the place went nuts.
We put the video up, and I was like, "Damn!" But I was also home, so I was like, "Cool."
But that's all right though. There wasn't no traffic.
You see what happens when you give Jalen Hurts the last opportunity in the game. You know what I mean?
Ooh, I like that play. I like that play.
He do the thing. There's no doubt in my mind he scores on that final drive. There's no doubt in my mind. Right there, like you have to throw that penalty. You got to give that. It has to be that way, or else the Eagles get a chance to do the thing that people didn't want them to do because they didn't want us to win that game. Clearly, right? They definitely did not want. It was good for the NFL. The story of Jalen Hurts and like they played it all up, but in reality, like that was Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes' game to lose.
Whole NFL would have been like.
Yeah, they would have been sick. Bro, if we'd have won all the 49ers smoke and all of this talk, like it'd have been quiet. Like you gotta eat that. So because we lost, now everybody can pile on like, oh, we knew y'all wasn't. He's a system quarterback.
Of course,
like,
man. Of course.
You know, and so it played out perfect for folks, man. But like Prom was saying before, I'm more geeked up for this year because this is going to prove what kind of metal these men have, right? That like the entire offseason, people been talking about y'all weren't as good as you were last year. Come out and prove it. I can't think of a better situation for a bunch of professional football players to get between the white lines with people that talk shit the whole offseason about you're not as good as you think. And then now I get a chance to put my hands on you. Come on, dog.
Yo, and we got Juju week 1 after all that shit talk.
Yo,
man's
big white Hulk go put the hands on him. Yo, Reed go catch him.
Bradbury sounds like we got to worry about the quiet ones. I like to see him catch him in the hallway.
So of all of the let me just ask you guys, of all of the storylines outside of the Eagles in the NFL, which ones are you guys following this year the most?
Which one? What was the question again?
Outside
of like a storyline that's outside of the Eagles. What are you following this year? Because I got one that comes to mind right away, and I'll tell you just to jumpstart it. I am here for the downfall of Brock Purdy. I am ready for the regression season, man. They talk so much shit. They are so confident in Brock Purdy. I'm telling you, he's going to be ass this year, bro. He's going to be benched by the time we play the Eagles.
But he's going to be hurt for.
Nah, they said he's going to be good to start week 1, but he's going to be benched by week 13.
Trey
like a
Lance
little bitch.
Wow, this guy. What did Brock do to you, pal?
Listen, that's the shame of it. It's just like the Jokic thing, man. Brock did nothing to me, and Jokic did nothing to me. It's their fans that killed me, bro. It's their fans.
Facts. It's all facts. For me, it's Lamar Jackson and Monken's offense. Like I got a chance to kind of study a little bit of it, just looking at it from last year at Georgia. I'm excited to see him open it up, man. You got Rashad Bateman. You have OBJ. Who they took Flowers too, right, in the draft, Zay Flowers. So you have one of the best tight ends in Mark Andrews. Like you have a really good offensive line in front of him. I'm excited to see Lamar Jackson take that jump. I hate this misconception that all black quarterbacks are running backs, right? Like that's the first thing that these internet trolls run to is, oh, he's just a glorified running back. And so Hurts proved he was a quarterback. I'm looking forward to him being able to go out and chuck that rock around 4,000 plus yards and go get busy.
Pete is asking Evan why you hate that kid.
It's like I just said with the whole.
That's white on white crime, bro.
I don't like the fans and how
the fans.
They are. It's not Purdy as a person. I'm sure he's a good dude. It's the fans.
It's definitely the fans, man. I mean, I gotta say that the whole 49er thing is something I'm gonna go ahead and chime on as well. But you know what? I'm also like just wowing the whole Arizona Cardinals situation, man. Like that team just straight fell apart. Like the whole organization got this, man. I mean, from losing two key guys in the front office, and then like everybody's just either once out as soon as they signed Jonathan Gannon. So it was just like, all right. So to me, that's pretty much been like I don't know what sitcom show to compare it to, but it's just like, fuck, yeah, every day is just something new. And then, more and more shit come out. So, I mean, but I agree with you, Evan, man. Those damn 49er fans really got me so amped up. I just can't wait till week 13. That whole Purdy shit, man, that dude's going to be a bust. Like, I love it. You know what I mean? They're not ready for us again. Regardless if it was week 1, week 13, they're not ready for us.
Yeah.
And John says he's looking forward to the Deshaun Watson redemption is what I'm looking forward to. It'll be interesting to see what if he's less distracted and what
he actually has a bounce back here this year.
A team looks like. Now Helena says she says she feels bad for Ertz and AZ.
I do too, man.
That's one of the good ones, man. He was good, man. He was chill about his shit.
Like I feel bad for Julie too.
Come back on.
I mean, he getting papered up though, so and he in the desert chilling
for sure.
I think, y'all, it was funny when you were saying you don't know a sitcom. The first thing that came to my mind was always sunny, bro. Because I feel like Arizona always caught up in some scheme and shit. They always trying to do some silly ass scheme. And you like, I can see the
We
hole
should
in this
buy
clock
gas
a
and
mile
sell it
away. Right. Like that's these fools giving a guy a damn contract that need to put a provision in to say you can't play no damn video games without studying the playbook. Bruh. Like what kind of foolishness is this?
Like he's 11 years old. Just like, have you done your homework yet? No video games till your fucking homework's done.
DeSay says he can't wait to see how teams can't double them 2 tanks in the middle of the D line. That'll be there's so much youth on the defensive line, dude. But
that's talking about Milton. Milton has no expectations right now. Couldn't be in a better spot to outperform nothing. You know what I mean? Like there's no expectations on Milton Williams, who's a heck of a football player.
Shout out to Hollis Thomas. He's at an Eagles event. He's been doing this Eagles thing. He says he's going to get some intel on that. Charles chimes in. He says, "I'm with you, the 49er fans. Problem is, I'm married to one." Wow.
Giants.
Shout out to Kincaid's. That's
I was going to say, you know, I'm sure you found a good one, man.
Kincaid's. He found himself a good 49er wife.
By next year, she's gonna be a straight Eagles fan.
Yo, Tim, talk about moving back home.
By next year, she's gonna be a straight Eagles fan.
Okay.
She ain't gonna be allowed to talk about San Fran around this neighborhood.
Helena says you're gonna see Hargrave going to decline without Fletch and company.
Yeah, I mean Hargrave was a horse though, bro. When he came from Pittsburgh, he was just miscasting that 2 technique defense 3-4. Like I think he'll be all right in San Fran. He's surrounded by horses again.
I was just
forgotten about.
I was just about to say that, like leaving our elite defensive line, but if there's another good defensive line to go to, it's honestly San Fran, man. They got a good D line, yeah.
Horses.
You should be all right.
All that shit coming out your mouth, man. I forgot how well you played.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard any news on the Budda Baker front?
Nah, I heard he's still asking. Well, the last thing I saw is that he actually had requested a trade officially now. So, I don't know what incentive Arizona has in getting rid of him. I saw the last show people kept mentioning Isaiah Simmons. He would intrigue the hell out of me in this Eagles defense.
Oh hell yeah!
Like that one. I like Budda Baker, but he won big time Brad, and they balked at that already once, right? With Gardner Johnson. Isaiah Simmons is just an enigma in the league right now, and I feel like if you could get him right,
versatile
dividends would be incredible, yo.
Now, Bill Barnwell of ESPN, he named Budda Baker as a perfect target for the Philadelphia Eagles in his latest article. He said the Eagles signed safety Terrell Edmonds in free agency and drafted rookie Sidney Brown in round 3, but with general manager Howie Roseman take a swing to land a veteran. Baker, who requested a trade in April, was one of the league's most urgent safeties. Credible play speed and would fit as a top down defender in split field coverages under new coordinator Sean Desai. Baker, he's under contract for this 2023 season at $16.9 million. And he's currently the 7th highest paid safety in the league. He also has a club option for 2024 worth $18 million.
Too much chicken. That's too much chicken.
Too much chicken? Too much grease?
Bro. It's too much chicken, bro. You roll with Reed Blankenship and Terrell Edmonds and Justin Evans and Sidney Brown and see what you got. Paying somebody $18 million? Nah, bro. And it'd be just how lucky come here and get hurt, and then now you're on the books.
So speaking of big money, man, I'm not sure if you guys saw Justin Jefferson and what they expect his next extension to be.
Like 40 mil, something stupid.
Man, 31 a year.
Yeah, he about to get NBA money.
Yeah,
bro.
He is arguably the best receiver in the league. So
I don't even think it's an argument, man. I do think he is the best.
Yeah,
but I mean, the prices are crazy. The prices.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course.
Back in my day, receivers were
what's crazy to think about too is I'm pretty sure, just off the top of my head, like he came into the league 1,400 yards. Next year 1,600. Last year 1,800. Bro is like putting up ridiculous numbers and only getting better. Like it's crazy.
Well, and I loved it because McConnell brought over that the Rams offense, and so you saw him getting deployed the same way that Cooper Kupp was on the out of the backfield running. Bro, he running wheel routes out the backfield. You catching a linebacker versus Justin Jefferson, like let's be serious.
Well, let's remember you guys wanted Jalen Reagor.
Yeah, I ain't that was a lie. You can't prove it. And so, that's been deleted. That's been deleted. That don't exist no more. And so, but that's how I wanted Reagor to get implemented, right? Like at some point, try something different, right? Spice it up a little bit. And it just clearly never got to that point. Yeah. But Jet, man, it's a baller. I'm curious. I want to see what Devontae ends up getting. Like that for me, I'm really curious because he's top 10 with another top 10 receiver, man, I'm curious.
Yeah, right. Rack asks, do you think Devontae Smith's extension gets done this offseason or midseason?
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough position that we're going to find ourselves.
He's gonna either way. He's going to get paid. I'm not worried about he's
very much so.
You don't let your top 10.
Yeah, but for sure he needs to get paid here and not nowhere.
Yeah, they're not letting him go. Like, don't worry about it. But I think we'll see. We'll see how it works. If they're trying to get a discount in some shape or form, and how much money we have left in the tank after we make one more splash signing.
Well, I mean, it's one of those like his cap hit for the first year is going to be like $800,000. Like it's going to be the bare minimum. So, I feel like Howie will figure it out. But dog, like you said, the prices, yesterday's price is not today's price. And tomorrow's price going to be outlandish. These boys is getting paper. I'm glad for them, though, man. Generational curse is getting broken, man. Keep stacking y'all money, bro.
Now, PETA in the comments says, new linebacker coach. So new that nobody has mentioned his name. Used to coach Davion Taylor. Said he was going to open his eyes so he can see where the ball's going.
That'd be a good first step. I recommend playing with your eyes open.
The thing is, like, you gotta to play fast. You have to really know what you're doing,
like process,
and then you have to let it rip. If you don't know what you're doing,
on instinct,
some players just don't have that instinctual feel for the game, and is what it is.
Always gonna take a while to transition from that star to a traditional linebacker spot. And I felt like the Eagles dropped the ball in his rookie year, cross training him at all three linebacker positions. Right, like give him one spot and let him focus. He ain't never learned any of them. He doesn't do any of them well. So at this point, he can't get on the damn field. So I hope that, with the more focused and nuanced approach that he could take a jump. He's a fucking athlete, bro. That if you could tap Davion Taylor's infinite, well of athleticism, it could be great for us. Especially if you sit him next to Kobe, who can control the rest of it. And you got somebody that just keying close and just knocking shit out. Come on, baby.
Bob from down under says that's why decide is pivotal, guys. Speak your mind, Bob. Tim Perkins says Hunter Renfrew on the trading block. Thoughts? He's a crafty route runner, man. He's got some craft to his game, and then that's that he was so unassuming that people he did his thing, man. He's a fan.
Barrios ever end up getting traded, or I'm sorry, signed?
Barrios got signed,
This guy
Renfro been balling since he was at Clemson, dude. Right? Yeah. He's always shown that he was capable of playing some ball. Like that McConkey.
I'm all about that one fast white boy.
He ain't fast.
One.
He crafty. He ain't fast.
His route running. His
slant and the slant. I mean, he kills it. I think.
Yeah. I love that shit. But let's see. Any last questions out there? Shoot us in the comments, and we'll bring them up. But I think overall we tried to give you some nuggets from. I know Pete asked, "What are your thoughts on Miles Jack? He's a free agent." I think you just see what you have with this linebacker group right now.
Absolutely.
And then if you need to bring in some depth or a guy that to throw a stick at the wall, Miles Jack would be one of the first guys you call.
And he's sticking around, right? He's still on the market for a reason. So, I don't think people are necessarily if they wanted to sign him, it would have happened by now. You're always going to get camp cuts and people going to be, made available via trade and stuff. So, and let's see, I trust Howie, right? I think Howie has garnered our trust. So let him do the thing, man.
Jock Talk went for Evan's neck.
Didn't you see?
No, he didn't go for your neck.
I did not see that. But I mean, I don't. I actually think it's kind of a mistake for San Fran to give up on Trey Lance as quickly as the fans want to. I mean, they're just head over heels for Purdy right now, and like you spent high draft capital to go and get Trey Lance, and I don't think that he necessarily has been proven that he's bad. I just think that he's had injury problems. So it might be worth trying to stick out, in my opinion.
There's news. Eagles are going to host the Colts for a joint training camp practice. This is ahead of the preseason game, so this would be a great opportunity if you get any chance or know anyone's relatives that might hook you up to get you down there. Call your friends because this is the camp practice you're going to want to get into. I don't know how I'm going to get in there.
That is being held in Philly, not in Indy. Okay.
Or if you know, is that in Philly or Indy?
That's what I'm asking.
It's Philly.
It's in Philly.
I thought it was in Philly. Okay. Or if you know some guy named Tank who could take you down there, take all of us down there.
I'm gonna just pretend like I'm Tank, bro. Just walk in, just swell my chest out.
Maybe Tank might bring us down there. I bring your kids to work day.
Okay.
All right.
These are my middle-aged kids, man.
I mean, listen.
Daddy!
Man, listen. We forgot to also talk about Zach McPherson. Zach McPherson is taking on a new role in the slot. Again, we'll see where this goes. Again, with the depth that we have at cornerback, the depth behind Avante, who's still not really participating. He's still recovering from the injury. That damn foot has been healing for a while, dude.
He's got the Joel Embiid foot, bro.
I mean, if it's that passer flashier or whatever, that shit takes forever to heal. The foot is you always on it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's always supporting you. It's taking the brunt of the pressure and stuff. So, again, man, you got a plan for the future there for sure. He got an S curl with a mean ball spot. And no disrespect, because people with receding hairlines happen all the time. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just gotta lean into it.
But when you know. Yeah,
you gotta let it go. Just take it to his head and then bring it right back to the
Trey Lance's hairline is that's on the when you see what's on the injury reserve is his hairline on the injury reserve. Who's the Derek White?
I was gonna say I just didn't want to bring it up. I was
every Charles Barkley, who's a part of the ball club. Shaq is part of the ball. Kenny Smith. When they even mention his name, they go straight for the hairline. I'm like, bro, that is like. I feel like, bro, they're really going at his hairline, and it's. Someone was saying about somebody, who was it? You got like a $20 million game, but a $2 edge up.
RG3 at one time.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, he got like that unmanicured lawn on the top of his jaw where it's just potholes. Like you ain't put no grass there.
Kevin Durant got my grass hasn't been watered in a decade.
His ankles ain't been watered in a decade either.
And I feel like it's too much. You got too much paper to not wear lotion, dog. That I don't care how much money I get. I'm gonna apply lotion to the extremities that's gonna face the world. You feel me?
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think you guys would know him, but there was this soccer player, Ronaldinho, who was top of the world for a solid 15 years at least. He was Messi of 20 years ago. And this guy had the most jacked up teeth you would ever see. And then when he retired, he finally fixed them. I was like, dude, I know you had the bread to fix that 15 years ago. Why would you not?
And Ronaldinho Brazilian, right? Yeah, stop, man.
He has some chompers, man.
Did the thing.
Right now, they're at home listening to this podcast. Like, why are they coming for our necks in hairline?
How did Ronaldinho just catch a stray? What the fuck?
I can't talk. I got this big ass gap on the side. I mean, my shit's bust all out. But if it was all through here, I would have the whole prosthetics in the face. You feel me?
Hey, man.
I get it, man. It's not cheap.
Now, Mr. Perkins asked, how's Brian Johnson adjusting? I think at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a smooth transition. Again, I think he's going to add another wrinkle to this offense. I think at times we had some.
What does that mean?
I think he's talking about Ronaldinho.
No, I know. I'm trying to imagine eating an apple through a tennis racket.
His teeth stuck out.
Bro.
But I think Brian Johnson has the opportunity to put his name on the map for build up his resume. I think if all these other guys can do it, I think Brian Johnson is going to get his shot next. So we'll see.
And he's in that direct pipeline to that head coaching seat, right? That like most of them come from that OC position. So I'm excited for him.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Douglas Michael in the chat. He says, I paid for my veneers in Colombia for $2K for my entire amount. We're talking about 2K, the video game. Douglas Michael's taken to another level. 2K in Colombia can get you a whole new grill.
2K in Colombia could get you a whole lot of things if you know how to maneuver correctly. You know what I mean? You have a good time in Colombia for $2,000, bro.
Or you don't come back.
Right. That means you had a great time in Colombia because you did too much. You ended up in the wrong places.
Now, Bruce Banner says his question was, we'll leave that for Prime. Anyone know when the Kelly Green jersey are out for purchase?
Prime, did you have an answer? Because I had a semi-answer. You're muted anyway, so I'll take this one.
You got it. My bad.
I saw last. What's it called? There was a post that was put out that I think last year the Eagles announced the black helmets and that we had last season. They made that announcement, I think, on July 21st of last year. So I would ballpark around that same time this year for the Kelly Green stuff.
Not only Ev with the meds, but Ev with the creds.
Hey, I like that.
You like that?
Let's see. Anything else? I think a playoff game tonight.
Nah. Well, hockey, I think. But...
Bro, like when I'm looking forward to like.
Did you see that newscaster last night on that not last night, a couple nights ago? She did what's his name? God, our Sports Insider. I can't think of his damn name. Dave Spadaro. She did a Dave Spadaro. During the interview, my man tried to go ahead and jump into the segment. Yo, she stepped on the shit out.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. In the hockey game, yeah.
Yeah, you ain't getting into this one. Yo, she had him. She was holding him for a couple seconds.
Maintained eye contact with the camera too.
Yeah.
Professional. That's professionalism right there. I love it.
Mark says it's okay to get out your razor and accept your fate to all you ball guys out there.
Absolutely. Let them know.
You see this right here? I can't grow with Prime and Ev got. I can't do this. I get the razor, I cut it down, I keep it right in here. I can do this.
You rather have that, or you rather have that up there?
No, this right here all day. I don't even care about it there. I told my son, I was like, I'm sorry to you. You won't ever get this, but you had this.
So Mal got the you got the Deshaun Jackson beard starter kit.
Yeah, whatever it is. I got the scrunchie joint. It runs in my family. It's 3 generations of black men in this family couldn't grow no facial hair. It's gonna be 4 of my son. It's okay. I got this right here. I'll be fine. I'll be all right. I'll be magnificent, dog. But yeah, get it out. If you can't do it, take care of it. Keep it well manicured. You know what I mean? It's easy.
Well, you're not fashionable.
Who, me?
You've spent enough time with me, bro. We don't got to mince words. I'm a man of practicality.
Ev went out. The first time I noticed, he went out and bought like a pair of Adidas NMDs. Yes, and I was like, okay, if these are gonna be, and he's like, nah, he didn't even think twice. He just bought it off of like functional tip. Like he's like, I need new shoes. I'm buying these pair. Good price, good. And then didn't even sweat it. And then the next day,
that's how I operate, bro.
he like stepped in some mud. And they were like, he shit canned these shoes within a matter of like 2 days. I was like, bro, you just bought those. Just like, but I was like, this
Shoes
guy.
are made for walking, baby.
I was like, you want me to wash your shoes? He's like,
me
dude.
and Gail over here talking about our our every other day shoes or shoes for every day of the week and all this stuff. And this man's over here like, oh yeah, I got these and I'm gonna go ahead and rock them out to the
last pair of sneakers I bought. I was sold on the fact that I could put them in the washer and clean them. I was like, dude, good.
Hey, Ev, I'm good.
We had to convince him at the Nike outlet, like, yo, man, this is your style. You could easily
outlet.
just wash.
That's what I love, bro.
Yeah, you can easily just wash these things. Throw these things on at any time. I mean, this is you right here, Ev. It's got your name all over.
That's me.
Now, in a cool tone, I got a question, people. Who is your all-time favorite franchise offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and head coach?
Hell of a question.
I'd say
DC has got to be Jim Johnson.
Jim Johnson all day.
Easy.
Yeah, Jim Johnson all day. For me, best head coach was Buddy Ryan. Offensive.
Wow, that's interesting. Why best head coach?
I love that man. He would fight. I love the fact that he would just fight. That's what I love. Now, Andy, I get it, but Andy was the man. But if you asking me, I think I'm entitled to my own opinion and my own answer. It's Buddy Ryan.
I think for me, I wouldn't even go Andy, bro. I got to give the tip of the hat to the guy that won me my first Super Bowl, bro.
Oh,
Dougie P.
Yo, and you know what's wild for me is Nick Sirianni because he actually got swag, yo. Like I like how Sirianni carries himself. Like he carries himself like somebody I would really kick it with. That like, you know what I mean? You get into a situation, you don't gotta worry is Nick Sirianni gonna get right with you. Like he gonna be throwing hands the same way you throwing hands. So I'm like, I like this guy right here. Whereas like, I like Doug Peterson,
I know what the fuck I'm doing.
But like, yo, exactly like the way he carries himself, the bravado, I love it, son. Absolutely love it.
This is a weird. Like, if you're not like, if you take Super Bowls out of the equation, I really did like Andy Reid. I feel like he had that big style, and I think he really loved the game, and I think the players loved him. But I heard some players didn't. I know one guy we know, Tank. Doesn't love him. Defensive coordinator Jim Johnson. I felt like he had this like quiet
that guy, man,
demeanor, but I was going to murder you and take your whole family with me.
Force his way on you, like no crazy talk. But his defense, he did his defense no matter who he played, and it worked. He knew how to implement his strategy. He would change things up a little bit. He was blitzing that A gap. You was going to face pressure all game. You was going to be uncomfortable the whole game. That guy, man, without a question. And yeah, Marty Mornaway was definitely my OC. Towards the end, he was kind of fumbling the bag, but he could call some plays.
I'm gonna say OC, maybe Steichen last year. He got us to the Super Bowl. I thought he was creative for first year. Like he came in and I thought he did well.
I mean, and I'll also give you that too in the fact that like we know that Nick Sirianni had kind of taken a back seat as far as play calling too. So we know that Steichen was more so kind of orchestrating what was going on as far as play design, play call, that sort of thing.
Or you could say that Andy Reid was OC and HC.
Yeah. I mean, because Mornaway had play calling responsibilities.
Well, in the chat, we're going to go get some answers from people in the chat. Greetings from John. Jim, he said Jim Johnson, Buddy Ryan. Rack Shack goes best DC, Jim Johnson, best head coach, Dougie P, Andy Reid, best OC, leaning Frank Reich. Oh, sorry about that. Frank Reich.
Yeah.
I'll give Frank Reich. I like that one. Pete Nathan says Andy Reid for head coach or Dougie P. DC, Jim Johnson or OC Marty or Frank Reich. Okay. All right.
I really think that Jim Johnson, too, is one of those guys that is like canonized essentially in like Philadelphia sports lore.
So,
no, absolutely. But like I kind of rank him and Jeff Stoutland as like those are two coaches that you look at and you're like
iconic.
No, exactly. They're just icons as far as coaches that have come through the Eagles system.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like
Todd
that.
says no John Gruden's.
Yeah, chill. Todd, we agree on that, Todd. Also, hold on. I saw you said you was getting the beta for Madden June 8th. I saw it in the chat. You put it out there for the world. share it with the people, right? Like hit me on the DM. Holla at me, bro. I'm trying to get on that.
Yeah, I've been playing Madden. All I do is play practice mode.
Oh, you wilding. You out getting franchise. That's where the money at, man.
I just sit here and play this. I got problems.
Do stuff like that. You be on 2K shooting jump shots, not even in the park. I'll be like, what's Gail doing, man?
So if somebody wants to play, I'm trying to diversify my video games. If anyone wants to lure me into some Call of Duty, I'll play.
We could get on that today, my boy.
I gotta go buy it, but I will buy it if someone's like, "Yo, I will play."
Get the digital version.
Yo, Prime never wants to play Call of Duty because his wife is better than Call of Duty than he is.
She is better than me in Call of Duty.
These are facts.
It is facts. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Okay. She'll take all of y'all out in a matter of seconds.
I haven't played Call of Duty. Last time I played Call of Duty was probably with Gail.
Yo, Prime's like, him and his wife, we met in the chat room.
Nah. But when we first met, and then she started coming over to the crib and playing, it was a whole different person.
Like, she got 10 kills, man. I only had one.
She was straight hammering these little kids on the mic, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what Prom though. He found the one. He was like, the way she talking to these 12-year-olds.
I wasn't even watching the game being played. I'm watching her going off. Like, that was like, yo, what the fuck is going on here?
I've never been called the N-word more times than in Call of Duty, bro. Like, that has more times, son. It's 12, 13-year-old white children from around the country.
Everybody always talking that tough talk.
So good for your wife for giving them the business.
She was.
They probably said craziness to me on the other side.
Yeah, I remember the first time playing NFL 2K on Dreamcast. The first time I was called the N-word. I was like, dude, how do you know I'm black?
They know.
He's like, I can hear it in your voice. Yeah. and I was like, the first time I was on playing like online that someone called me. I was like, is this racism? Is this online racism? What is it? What is it called? It's like the first time it's ever happened because of like technology. You're like, this is on another level. Oh man, interesting.
I don't like being a grown man arguing with children on 2K, bro. I don't like it.
Anybody play Apex Legends? Bruce Banner wants to know.
I've been playing Sekiro.
I was getting cooked, so I just went back to 2K.
This guy playing Sekiro. What is that?
It's like Dark Souls, kind of.
Okay.
Dark Souls in the dark room.
Oh man. But before we get out of here, anybody? I mean, Tim Perkins is talking about Jake Elliott killing the pins the other day. It's another
bowling
form of connecting that the Eagles are doing. Bowling.
Him and Boston Scott had me dying in that little video they put together, man.
Boston Scott, real talk. Like after his NFL career, he has a spot in like media. Like he is a super personable dude. Like I think he would be good behind the mic.
He also is a professional gamer too.
Is he?
Yeah. He has a contract.
But I never seen Jake Elliott get so serious. I mean, the man was literally walking by and he stopped in his tracks. It's like, what did you say? You the number one what? Number one bowler. And then he walked away. He gave him a look. He walked away. He was like, more like number 6. I was like, yo.
People don't understand how good of an athlete Jake Elliott
is, yo. But he won that home run. What did he win? The home run
close
derby?
To winning the home run derby.
That one year Carson's thing.
Yeah.
I saw before too. Dude goes crazy with the golf trick shots too. I'm not sure if you've ever seen those.
Yeah, ping pong too. He's good at ping pong.
He's got some
good at bowling.
Yeah.
He play all them sports you could get drunk at. I'm noticing the trend. These are all beer related sports and activities.
No, but I kind of get the vibe that he's one of those guys. You ever have one of those friends that just like no matter what you pick up, they're just naturally good at it? I think he's one of those types.
Facts.
Douglas Michael brings up the whole fact that Shannon Sharp is out. Mm-hmm. He said, "Did you all hear that Shady McCoy is predicted to be with Skip Bayless next?" Mm-hmm. I think in terms of putting Skip in his place, I think Shady would probably throw him off the bus.
Yeah, I think that's possible. I also saw Nick Wright was in the.
I hate to see any athlete have to be forced to do a show with Skip just to get paid. I mean, the pay is probably good, but I just think when you're a Hall of Famer, and you're a Hall of Famer in Shannon Sharp, and you have to hear things from guy who averaged 3 points on his JV basketball team. Like, there's no comparison where you should be downgrading a Hall of Famer in any aspect.
Right. And yeah, I mean, it's hilarious how like what you just said about Skip, and then he'll sit there and try and make the argument that LeBron James somehow isn't, at least a top 2 player all time. He hates LeBron, dude. It's hilarious.
I could imagine. I don't hate LeBron, but anyway. Last word before we get out of here. We'll start with Mal. You clean up that diaper, by the way?
Nah, he peed on my jersey, so you see I'm in the mood right now. I think somebody said it, and I think Todd said it. He got to switch the jersey. You was right, Todd. I had to switch it. I'm back though. Part of fatherhood, man. It's amazing. Now I'm gonna be old. Yeah, I'm gonna be old, and I'm gonna be peeing on him, and so all things go in full circles. But no, just excited as always to connect with y'all. I'm about to get. I told them before you came on, Primo. Taco Tuesdays is going down at the crib too. Got them waiting downstairs. I'm gonna throw them in the air fryer real quick, crisp them back up, and then go to work. So
you re-crisp a taco,
brother. Put it in the air fryer, son. I don't have. It's life changing.
I'm broke. I don't have the taco Tuesday.
That's life changing.
What do you? Guy that bought the PS5 just to say he has a PS5.
Yeah, and do you see all the money in the background back there?
Yeah,
like,
you the biggest fronter of all time. I don't do no pocket watching, but you make it kind of hard when you run around like the king of the city, man. You got it though, Gil.
Just putting fryer later. I don't have no fryer later.
And I don't have your SUV truck. So what we trading? You want to trade? I give you my air fryer. We switch.
You do have an SUV truck. You're lying.
Anyway, I thought this was my last word. Not Gail's last
word. Go ahead.
I'm going to eat tacos. I'm going to hang out with my family. And I might play 2K before I go to sleep. And I'm going to sleep. But respect everybody out there, man. Go Birds. Always love y'all boys. Always love the folks in the comment section. Always a lot of fun, man.
Primo.
Hey, man, we got a big weekend coming up. A lot of events that we got going on. So looking forward to that softball game at Devontae Smith. Looking forward to chilling with Vin for his birthday at the Phillies game for a little bit. And definitely hooking up with you boys, man. I miss my boys, man, being able to do some stuff. But always look forward to the show. Again, my apologies for running late this evening. But it's been fun, talking some OTAs, talking some Eagles football, getting ready for the season. And, hopefully another splash is on its way, regardless of what it is.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, bro. I'm waiting patiently. But other than that, everybody be safe. Check on your peeps. Go Birds.
And that's it's a great segue for me, Prime, because I can't talk about it right now. But on the next show, there is going to be a big splash happening in my family at the very least.
Nice.
Looking forward to that. It's going to be.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to ruin any surprises.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
So stop.
It's a positive
so stop.
It's good stuff. It's
good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah, just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Go Jimmy, bro. Take down the Nuggets.
Yes, please do it.
Interesting. Is that your last word?
That's it. That's all I got, coach.
Man, let's see.
Expectations.
Last word. Hey, man, I just appreciate everybody in the chat. I know it's the off season. Definitely just we're all watching the timeline, just trying to get a feel for this team. Obviously, it's OTAs and stories will be made into something that are nothing. But there's some stories that have yet to be written. It's going to be a great offseason. I think you're going to see another Jalen Hurts, a version of Jalen Hurts. You thought he was good last year. I think he's going to be even better this year. Can't wait till all those camp notes come up. Can't wait to attend camp. I don't know who or is going to hook that up, but I'm putting it out there in existence. Somebody will hook up a camp invite. Excited for that, but we'll see you guys in the next one. And as always, fly, Eagles, fly.